They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a bicycle. And that's close enough for me. Have you guys heard of the Easterlin paradox? Basically, it means that the more money you have, the happier you are, but only up to a point. That point is usually when all of your basic needs are met. Once you have the basics like food, water, shelter, health, safety, more money is not the answer to happiness. And in fact, for many people, if they continue to chase money or material possessions, this may result in unhappiness. So assuming we have all of our basic needs down, what can we do to optimize for happiness? I've been listening to a few podcasts where they've been interviewing Arthur C. Brooks, and I resonated with the idea that if happiness were food, then the macronutrients of happiness would be enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose. It's really worth listening to his idea, so I'm going to link the podcasts in the YouTube description. But for now, I'm going to talk a little bit about satisfaction. So here's an excerpt from his article in The Atlantic. Satisfaction is the greatest paradox of human life. We crave it, we believe we can get it, we glimpse it and maybe even experience it for a brief moment, and then it vanishes. But we never give up on our quest to get and hold on to it. What is satisfaction? At its core, satisfaction is getting what you want. The problem with satisfaction is that as we get it, the feeling of satisfaction disappears and we start the whole hamster wheel all over again. This has happened to everyone. Anyone who has tried to achieve as much as possible, anyone who has tried to earn as much money as possible, gain as many earthly possessions as possible, or tried to buy happiness in any way whatsoever, everyone has experienced this glimpse of satisfaction. So they'll first get it and then it quickly disappears. It's kind of like buying something new. When you first buy it, you're thrilled to have it. You might even give it a little extra TLC. But after the thrill of owning it disappears, you are back to that baseline of seeking satisfaction over and over again. Hence, buying lots and lots of stuff is generally not a good idea if you're hoping that gives you happiness. So what is the solution to this hedonic treadmill? Turns out, satisfaction is not just about getting what you want, but rather, satisfaction is what you have over what you want. So instead of focusing on accumulating and increasing what we have, the easiest way to attain satisfaction is to decrease what we want. Let me read another excerpt from the article. The secret to satisfaction is not to increase our haves. That'll never work, or at least it'll never last. That is the treadmill formula, not the satisfaction formula. The secret is to manage our wants. By managing what we want instead of what we have, we give ourselves a chance to lead more satisfied lives. So ironically, I'm going to suggest managing your wants by buying yourself a bike. We already know that materialistic wants tends to provide short-term happiness and is not a long-term solution to satisfaction. So for me, instead of wanting more stuff, I've managed my wants to include experiences outside in nature, and to include a sense of well-being through fitness and personal growth through difficult experiences, like races or events. All of these things can be fulfilled by riding a bicycle. Let me show you a glimpse of what I mean. It feels like forever since I've done a proper ride. Let's make this one count. Whoop. Bigger tires would have been better, but these 34s will do. Whoa. feels so good, man, to be out on a proper ride. But one of the things I realized through cycling is that you truly cannot keep satisfaction. After a few years of cycling, I noticed that I kept looking for more and more epic rides. These rides tend to be very difficult, and I kept trying to up the ante by eventually joining a race. And after my first race, I gotta say I was hooked. That experience, that satisfaction towards the end of the race after you are done, I keep trying to recapture that feeling. So I have a couple of races and events that I want to join in 2024. The problem will be finding time to train. If I can't train, I'll still join the events, but really more of a participant instead of a racer. Should still be fun. Before the year ends, I'll probably share a video detailing which races and events I want to hit for 2024. And it should be pretty exciting. I truly enjoy cycling events. And truth be told, I am not very concerned about the outcomes of how I do. Just knowing that I did my best, I genuinely enjoy that whole process. The satisfaction that comes from doing something really difficult, it usually lasts me a few days before I start itching to go out on another hard ride. One other thing that gives me satisfaction other than the bike is a good cup of coffee. I recently got my hands on PCQC award-winning Robusta coffee beans. These are Mabini Ubuan from Curve Coffee Collaborators. I was curious about it because for my home brewing, I usually use Arabica beans, and I wanted to get a sense of what really good Robusta beans are supposed to taste like. These beans taste more like what we would traditionally think of coffee, not as bright or as sweet as Arabica, but with more body. Although, if brewed the right way, you can still coax flavor notes and enjoy the complex taste along with a full-bodied cup. Try award-winning PCQC coffee beans from Curve. Just visit their website, curve.coffee. You have lots of coffee beans to choose from. Thank you, Curve, for sponsoring this episode. Okay, if you haven't yet, get yourself a bicycle. I truly believe it is a good step towards happiness. In fact, the whole purpose of this vlog is to show the kind of satisfaction possible with owning a bike. If you want to get a glimpse of what that's like, I have a playlist over here for all of my ride videos. Give that a watch. Getting a bike is definitely a good step towards satisfaction. Just stay away from N+1.